Yes, Mr.
Okay, see, this workshop, it will be practical side. We are not going to focus on the theoretical side, so I'm not going to share PowerPoints and describe what is the benefits of this analysis or what is the benefits of that analysis. I'm going to focus on the steps on the practical sides immediately. So we are going to have a data set and we are going to apply the analysis, the statistical analysis on that data set. So please do your best to understand this test immediately. So before moving to the next test, please, if you are not clear about that test, immediately raise your hand and I'm going to clarify your doubts. Please do not make me move to the next test unless you are understanding the first one. I'm going to start with the Excel sheet. So let me share my screen first. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the time that you are going to collect the data, 100%, most of you, they are using quantitative, and this is just this workshop for quantitative analysis. Now, the time that you are going to download the data set from the Google form, it will be like that. So you are not going to have any numbers. Here I have transformed the numbers just only to cut the down, the times. But here you will find like the gender, for example, female, male, female, female. Here the age of the respondents. Here the qualifications, which is part of the demographic questions. Here we are having PhD, bachelor, and so on. Then we are going to have the construct or the variables, which we are using it in our study. Like for examples, here we are having job satisfactions. The first one, job satisfactions. Under job satisfaction variables, we are going to have many questions. Question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. So for examples, we are going to ask about their satisfactions about the workload. This is like a questions. Are you satisfied with the workload in your company? So this is going to be here the first questions. Then we are going to ask them about, for examples, the time. Are you satisfied with the time allocated to complete the task in your organizations? So this is going to be job satisfactions number 2, item number 2, and so on. And then number 3. Then we are going to have to move to the next variables, next factor, which is the employee performance. Are you completing your task on time? Are you completing or are you doing your task on an organized manners? So here you are going to have 3 items or 3 questions, which is related to the employee performance. These are a demo data set, just only I'm using it to make you understand. So here we are having 3 items, these 3 items or 3 questions related to employee performance. Then we are having 3 items again related to the job satisfactions, and these 3 items which is related to the demographic. 100% your data set is going to be totally different from here, but in general it will be similar to this. Now, the first step, we need to do it. This is the Excel sheet, but we are not going to use the Excel sheet in analysis. What we are going to use SPSS. Now, all of you having like a Sterling account, you can download the software, the SPSS program for free from the Canvas. Just log into Canvas and then you will find the library, e-library. Then from e-library, search for SPSS. Then you will find, click on it, download it, install, and then it will be like that. So this is like the window of SPSS. You can download it for free from Canvas. Now, let us start with the first step. Now, SPSS deal with numbers only. They cannot deal or analyze the words. So the first step we need to do it to change the words from two numbers. Sorry, we need to change the word from two numbers. So we will start here. The age, it's already number, so no need to change it. But we are going to move to the gender here. Gender, we are having female and male. First of all, we need to change these female into number. So what we will do, we will make female number equal to number 1 and male equal to number 2. So we are going to here from the Excel sheet exactly. Click here, click on replace. So what the program will do, what we are looking to replace, we would like to replace female. And what is the number which we would like to assign it for female? It will be 1, for examples. Then we are going to click on replace all. Then we made 13 replacement. Immediately you will find here that female, wherever female in your data set, change it into number 1. Then we will move to the male. Male, we will assign number 2 for male. Then click on replace all. We made 17 replacement. You will see here immediately that female number 1, 2, male. Then we will move to the next column, which is related to the educational level. We are having high school, bachelor degree, and master degree, and PhD. So we will start from the first one, which is high school here. So we will replace high school when we will assign, for example, number 1. There is no conditions here. We can provide high school number 4 and we can provide it number 1. It is totally up to you. In relations to the demographic only. In relations to demographic only, we can assign any number. It must be a number. But what is the number? It is up to you as a researcher. So high school, for example, we will replace it by 1. Then we will move to the bachelor degree. We will replace it by the second number, which is equal to 2. Then replace all. Then we are going to move to the master degree and we will replace it by number 3. Replace all. And then finally, we are having the PhD. We are going to replace it by number 4. See, now we have already convert all the words which is available in our data sets into numbers. Then we can take it to the SPSS. Now, just one more things here. Here we are having in the job satisfactions, we are using a Likert scale. Am I right? We are using strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. So we are having these 5. So what we are going to do, we are going to replace it. And this is I have done before the workshop just only to reduce the time. So for examples here, strongly disagree, always strongly disagree, it will be equal to 1. Disagree, it will be equal to 2. Neutral equal to 3. Agree equal to 4. And strongly agree, it will be equal to 5. So immediately here you are going to understand. So for example, this is 1. This is items number 1 in employee performance. The respondents say number 1. What do you mean by number 1? Strongly disagree. Here they said 3. What do you mean by 3? Neutral. Here they said 2. What do you mean by 2? Disagree. Here, for example, they said 4. What do you mean by it? Agree. And so on. You got it? So the first step, we need to transform the words in our data sets, because from the form, Google form, we are going to download it by Excel sheet only. We cannot convert it into SPSS directly. So we have to change this manually by using SPSS. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
Mr.
Mr. Clear.
Okay. Now, we will move to the software, SPSS. The first things we need to create the variables. Here we are having data view, where we are going to have all the respondents. And here we are having variable view. Here we are going to generate our variables. Just only as to, like, we are going to define the items, the questions in our data sets. So the first one we are having here, what? The age group. So we are going to write here in the name age. The type always is going to be numeric with, and all these things do no need to change it. The label, that means the total questions or the complete questions. Here no need, just only you can age of respondent, whatever you would like to write. Whatever you would like to write. Here now the value. As you see here, we don't have group. Am I right? They set like 39, 53, 52, 56. Mostly in your questionnaire, I'm sure that what you have done, you have grouped the age, like you said, from 20 to 30, from 31 to 40, then from 41 to 50, and so on. So you group the age for your questionnaires, but here they did not group it. So here you have to change from here the measurement. We are having scale, we are having ordinal, and we are having nominal. As we are having just only a number of figures, immediately we would like to put it like a nominal. Sorry, ordinal. What do you mean by ordinal? That means there is a numbers, figures numbers. There is nothing which is like grouping or limiting the numbers. Whatever the respondents would like to put it, they can write it there. Then we will move to the next one. You will understand what is the gender, like the grouping, which I mean, or which I have explained. So for example, the second one, which is the gender. In genders, the labels like male or female, for example, or female. This is explanations. Here I have to put the figures. Now, what I said there, I said the value. Value number 1 equal to what in our Excel sheet? Anyone remember?
Female.
Female. So we are going to write female. Immediately, as long as we have done that, the SPSS will understand when we are entering one, that means we are referring to female. Then number 2 equal to male. And then click OK. Then here we have to ensure that it is nominal. What do we mean by nominal? That means the figures already designed, that we are representing or defining the characteristics of the respondents. So anything which is referring to the characteristics of the respondents of your study, we are going to use as nominal. Then we are having the next variables, which is educations. Here we are going to write the level, education level. Now, again, we will do the same process. 1 equal to high school. Am I right? Then number 2 equal to bachelor degree. Then number 3 equal to master. Then number 4 equal to PhD. Then click OK. Then here again, we are going to choose nominal. We have done with the demographic questions. Now we will move to our variables, which is 2 variables we are having: employee satisfactions and employee performance. So we will start with the first one, employee. See, just remember, in the name, we cannot make space. We need to do it together without any space. So we are going to write employee, or just only to make it shortcut. What we will write satisfaction. Question number 1. Satisfaction. question number 1. And here we are, for example, the label. We are going to write the questions which we have mentioned. Let's say, for example, workload. Then here we are going to use a value. The value, as we said, we are having Likert scale. We use it, the Likert scale from 1 to 5. So 1 equal to strongly disagree. Am I right? Then question number, yes, please.
إذا كنا مسوين العكس يعني أول شيء strong agree.
It is okay.
Okay.
It is okay. See, in entering the data in SPSS, nothing like if you would like to start with strongly agree and then finally strongly disagree. It is okay in the questionnaire. But in SPSS, because I'm sure that you have positive worded, all of you using positive worded in the questions. I don't want to bother you or confuse you with these statement positively and negatively. Just only do what I'm doing now. For one always equal to strongly disagree. One equal to strongly disagree. Do not change that because this will affect the mean score. If you are doing the opposite way, like for example, you change it strongly disagree equal to 5. When we later on, when we are going to do the analysis, the mean and متوسط, it will be totally different. So strongly disagree always equal to 1. Then
يعني
we are going, yes.
يعني مستر إذا نحن مسوين في السيرفي أول شيء strongly agree فهنا نحط ال1 strong agree.
لا 5 حتى ولو
5 أوكي يعني
5
strong agree 5.
5 always 5. Why 5? Because the sentence, like for examples, I'm going to say, see the questions itself. I am doing my job on time. I am doing. So this is positively. But if you are going to say, I'm not doing my job on time, I'm not. This is negatively. If you are saying in your question, I am not doing my job on time, that means you are right. Strongly disagree will be equal to 5. But I'm sure that all the students, based on my experience, all the students, they are using positively worded items. I am doing or I am doing my job on time. You got my point? So please, in case you are confusing, please share your questions with your supervisors and 100% will tell you what is equal to 5. Is it strongly disagree or strongly agree? But 100%, based on my experience, most of the students, they are using positively worded questions. So if you are using positively worded questions, that means you are going to allocate 5 for strongly agree and 1 for strongly disagree. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then we are having 2 to disagree. Then we are having 3 neutral. Then we are having 4 agree. And 5 equal to strongly agree. Done. And here we are using scale. Now we are going to change. If we are using Likert scale, here you have the measure, you have to change it into scale. See here, I have choose scale. Why? Because I'm using Likert scale. Likert scale, that means I'm using from 1 to 5, 1 to 7, 1 to 6. That means there is a scale where the respondent has to choose or select their response based on the scale. Then we are going to move to the satisfactions number 2, question number 2. And here it will be little easy. Satisfaction number 2. Here, for example, we are going to workload, for example, salary. Are they happy with the salary or not? Are they satisfied with the salary or not? So instead of doing that every time, we are going to use the same scale. So just only copy it. Control C and then Control V. See, immediately I got all the answer for these questions. And here I'm going to change it into scale. Then satisfactions number 3. The items number 3, the same things. Question number 3. So for example, here I'm asking about time, working time. Their satisfaction about the working time. Again, I'm going to copy and paste, Control C and Control V. Then here I'm going to change it into scale. I have done with the 3 questions related to the satisfaction, employee satisfactions. Now I'm going to move to the employee performance. So I'm going to write performance 1. Then the same things, I'm going to make the label. Here again, I'm using the same Likert scale from strongly agree to strongly disagree. So I'm going to copy and paste. Here again, I'm going to select 2. Then I'm going to move to the performance 2. Sorry, as I said, you cannot make space in writing performance, in writing the name of the variables. Again, it will be copy, paste it here, and here I'm going to change it into scale. Then the last questions, performance 3. I'm going to copy the value, and then here I'm going to do the scale. If I have completed this task, now my database for the collections will be ready. See here, I'm going to move now from the variable view to the data view. See here above, immediately I'm going to see age, gender, education, satisfaction 1, satisfaction 2, satisfaction 3, performance 1, performance 2, and performance 3. If I have done with this, I'm going to move to the Excel sheet. Immediately, I'm going to copy. Because I have already the numbers, I have 30 respondent here. So I'm going to copy that. Here the ID, do not copy the ID. Then I'm going to here and then paste it. See all the data now available in SPSS and ready to start the analysis. Clear? Is it clear, Azaz?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now we will start with the analysis. I need your attention, please. See, any data, we cannot jump directly in doing the descriptive and these things. The first things that we need to do it is to check the reliability of our questionnaire. There is a test which we are using it to check or to measure the reliability of our questionnaire. What do we mean by reliability? Reliability means that can we trust the questionnaire that we have designed it or not? Again, can we trust our questionnaire on starting the analysis or not? How can we do that? We have to go to the analyze, then go to scale. Then here you will find reliability analysis. Click on it. Now in reliability analysis, make sure that you are using alpha, which refers to Cronbach alpha. This is like a test which all the statistic people using it to make sure that the questionnaire or the data set we have designed it is reliable and we can start the analysis. We can. If the reliability is less than the value, recommended value, that means your data is not suitable and you cannot go on with the analysis. So make sure the model is alpha here. Then remove the demographic. Do not include the demographic questions. Only go to the variables, which is satisfaction, starting from here to the performance. So the variables, the factors only which we are going to use it to measure or to analyze the reliability. The demographic, the age, gender, we cannot use it or to check the reliability. So we are going to select them all, then bring it here. So we are having the items, all of them here, and make sure that we are choosing alpha, then click OK. Now, see from the result here, Cronbach alpha is minus 0.446. What that means? It is less than 0.07. Sorry, it is less than 0.7. Now, the result of reliability statistic, it must be more than 0.7. It must be more than 0.7. Now, the result, the reliability of our questionnaire is saying that it is minus, it doesn't matter, minus or positive. But the most important, the numbers. If it is 0.446, that means it is that we cannot rely or we cannot trust. Now, the only reason that we are having low Cronbach alpha value because the number of samples. If you see here, we are having only 30 respondents. So this is the reason that the reliability of our study is less than the 0.7. Now there is an options. You cannot just only rely on these results. You can choose another that. Go to analyze, scale, reliability, and in statistic here, you have to choose where is it? Yes, here. Scale if item deleted. Click on this and then continue, then click OK. Again, the same problems that we cannot rely on it. Even if we are removing one of the questions, the reliability, it will be the same. Now, 100%, I can guarantee that if you are having a respondents which is more than 50, the reliability will be 0.7, more than 0.7. Now, I can open another data for you, just only to make you understand. So, for example, I have this data. Yes, let me open it. Okay. See, this is another data which having or consisting more respondents. We are having how many respondents? Almost we are having 218 respondents and many items. Now, if I would like to go and check the reliability, I will go to scale, reliability. Then, as I said, we cannot include the demographic. We are going to move immediately to the variables, factors. Then we are going to select all of them. Then I'm going to bring it here. Then I'm going to click OK. See the reliability here, Cronbach alpha 0.98, which is more than 0.7, more than 0.7. It must be more than 0.7. Please make sure from that. If it is less than 0.7, that means there is an issue in your data set and you have to get more responded and consult your supervisor to see what is the problems. But as I said, it must be more than 0.7. Now, we will move to the next test. Clear about that reliability?
Yes.
Okay, so the first test, reliability test, which is called Cronbach alpha. I'm going to check that. Mention that in your report. Reliability of the questionnaire in data analysis. The Cronbach. Now, what I'm going to write, the Cronbach alpha of the questionnaires indicating or resulting 0.75, 0.8, 0.9, whatever the value. It must be more than 0.7. So the results of Cronbach alpha indicating that the reliability of the study instrument or the study questionnaire is reliable as the Cronbach alpha value is more than 0.7. This is, you have to indicate it or report it in your study. You have to report it in your study, the result of the Cronbach alpha. Now, if your Cronbach alpha already more than 0.7, and now you would like to start with the other analysis. Now you have to move or focus on your objective. Now your objective saying, for example, to measure the relationship between satisfaction and employee performance. Then the second objective, to measure the impact of employee satisfaction on employee performance. So the first one, you are in the first objective, you are measuring the relationship. In the second objective, you are measuring the impact. And in the second, third objective, for example, you are measuring the variance. So let us start with the first one, the relationship. The relationship. But before that, let me go to the descriptive. Forget the relationship now. Let us start. I forget to mention that. Now, there is a descriptive. We measure the reliability. Now we will move to the descriptive statistics. Now go to analyze descriptive statistics. Then we are going to descriptives here. Then we are going to bring all of them, all the items that we are having. The age, male, education, workload, salary, working time, performance, all of them, we are going to bring it here. Then we will go to the options. Which test we are looking to have it. We don't want minimum and maximum. We would like to get the mean and standard deviations. Make sure from these two tests. In descriptive, we would like to get the mean and standard deviations. Then click continue, then click OK. See, immediately the descriptive, immediately this is the table, age of the respondents, male or female, educational level. Can we get these three variables, the demographic? No. The mean of like male and female. What is the benefit of getting the male and female? We cannot get the mean. We don't have something which is between male and female. There is no thing in the middle, either male or female. So we don't have to choose the mean of the demographic. Maybe you can get the mean of the age group, but in relations to the gender and educations, we don't need the mean. Immediately go to the workload. Here the mean 3.1, then the salary 2.5, then the working time, and so on till the last variable performance 2.7. Like for example, now I'm going to remove to make it simple for yourself. Analyze, descriptive. Again, I'm going to remove the 3 demographic here and click OK. So here the table is almost ready. So what I'm going to copy it and then transfer it to your study report and then start describing. The mean of workload is 3.1 and the standard deviation 1.1. Then the salary, the mean is 2.5 and the standard deviation 1.1 and so on. So you are going to put the table, then you are going to write a paragraph describing that table. So we completed the descriptive, then you have to go to the frequencies. For male, age, gender, and educations, we need to use the frequency. If you would like to use the workload, salary, work hour times, it will be like a complicated and too much information, and we don't want too much information, too much analysis. There is no benefits of saying that 5 people saying strongly agree, 2 people saying agree. There is no benefit because we are using advanced statistics. So in frequencies, we are just only using that test for the demographic. So we are going to use age, male, educations. Click it here. Here, if you would like to have like chart, it is going to generate chart for you. So like for example, I would like to get bar chart or pie chart or histogram, whatever you would like to do it. Then I'm going to click OK. See the frequency here for the age, as we are using the numbers. You remember when I told you that we are using the numbers, but we don't want the numbers. Here we can, for the age group, we can use the mean because we are using many numbers and it will be very difficult to report the age respondent. But if we are having a group like from 20 to 30, we are having this much, and as similar to this. So here, for example, male frequency 17, female 13. This is the percent 43, and this is the percent for male 56% and 43%. Here in education, again, high school, we are having 16%, bachelor degree 30%, master 10%, PhD 43%, and here we have the age group. Here we are having the male and female, the chart. We can just only copy and paste it there. Here also we are having the education level, which is refers to the each one. Now I can adjust that one. Like for example, she's putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No need for that. So what I'm double click on it, and then you can amend. Instead of writing number 1, you can write, for example, high school. And so on. After doing the descriptive, which is from analyze, frequencies, and descriptive, the mean and standard deviations of the items, the frequency, then how many male, how many females, then we will move to the advanced statistics based on our objectives. So, as we said previously, we would like to measure the relationship between employee satisfaction and employee performance. We would like to measure the impact. There is a difference here, relationship, and the second one, impact. And then the variance between, like for example, between the different, between male and female in relations to employee satisfaction. The difference between male and female in relations to the employee performance. Who is performing more or who is satisfied more and less? Let us start with the first steps. The first things that we are having in satisfactions, how many questions? We are having 3 questions, which all of them leading to the satisfaction. So first of all, we need to merge the mean of the 3 items related to the satisfactions. So what we will do, we will go to transform, compute variables, click on compute variables. Then what is the target variables? Satisfactions. Then you need to go here in the function group, go down, and you will find statistical. Click on it, statistical here. Then if you are clicking on the statistical, go down again and here click on mean. Now you are ready to compute, to merge the 3 questions together in one items, in one variables. So the first one here, workload. So this is the first one. I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to click here to bring it here, numeric expressions. Then I will click here plus. Or sorry, to make it clear for you. So I'm going to bring it here. Mean, sorry. So here the mean, I'm going to click on this one, mean. I will bring the 3 variables that I'm having about workload. So this is the first one, workload. Then I'm going to click it here, satisfaction 1. Then I'm going to move to the next one, salary. I'm going to bring it here. Then again, I'm having comma. Please see here. There is a comma. If you can see it, I'm not sure if it is clear, but there is a comma here. Then bring the 3rd items or the 3rd questions again here. Now see here, the mean for satisfactions or the question number 1 related to satisfactions, then question number 2, then question number 3. After doing this, immediately click on OK. Then if we will go to our data set, If we will go to our data set, see here another variables generated, which is called satisfaction. Then again, we will do the same process for the employee performance, because we are having 3 questions related to employee performance. So we will go to transform, compute variables, then we are going to change it, employee performance. Then the same things, we are going to click on statistics, mean, and then we are going to click here to bring the, sorry, I'm going to remove this. And then I'm going to bring it here. So how many? This is the performance number 1. I'm going to click on it, bring it here. Then again, I will remove this question mark. I will bring the question number 2 and bring it here. Then I'm going to use comma. Then I will bring question number 3, which is performance here. So mean, performance 1, performance 2, and performance 3. Immediately, I'm going to click OK. I will go to see my data. See here. Now I have 2 data, 1 data for satisfaction, 1 column for satisfactions, and 1 column for performance. Now, the first things, or my objective saying, I would like to measure the relationship between satisfaction and employee performance. My satisfactions variables already combine it and merge it together, the performance merge it together. Then we will go to analyze. Then we are going to move to the correlate here. Correlate. Then we are going to select the bivariate here, the second one. Click on it. Now you have to make sure that you are selecting person here. Correlation, person. Then I'm going to bring the variables. Here my new variables. Again, I'm not going to use the questions. I'm going to use the variables here. So my first variables, satisfaction and performance. I will bring it here. Then I'm going to click OK. See here the results. Here we are having the satisfaction variables, and here I'm having the performance variables. Now, what is the satisfactions correlations? 0.2. And what is the significance? It is 0.2. Now, what is the result saying here? What they are saying, I'm going to tell you very clearly. If the number, and see, sorry, for example, let us starting with the correlations. Any correlations or the number which is coming here, always coming between -1 and 1. -1 and 1. In the middle, we are having 0. Now, if the number between 0 and 1, that means we are having positive relationship. If the value here between 0 and 1, that means we are having positive relationship. If the value between 0 and -1, that means negative relationship. Now the value here, it is 0.2. That means indicating that there is a relationship, positive relationship between performance and satisfactions. Now, the nature of relationship, if it is just only 0.2, that means it is very we cannot say moderate relationship. It is not a strong relationship. It is weak, ضعيفة, weak relationship between performance and employee satisfactions. So I'm going to copy this table. I will put it in that. So I'm going to, let's say, for example, this is conducted or the respondents coming from BDO company. So what I'm going to interpret, say, as finding the analysis of correlation results indicating that there is a positive, weak relationship between satisfactions and performance in petroleum development company. Again, so I'm going directly to this number. If it is between 0 and 1, that means it is positive relationship. So I'm going to say that there is a positive, but the relationship is very weak. Why? Because it is 0.2. If it is 0.9, I'm going to say there is a positive, strong relationship positive, strong relationship between satisfaction and employee performance in BDO company. Now, as the result of we are having now, it is 0.2. So it is weak. It is a positive relationship, but it is weak, ضعيفة. Weak relationship between satisfaction and employee performance. Then here we are having the second one, which is very important for us. Here, in case we are having hypothesis, we would like to reject or accept the hypothesis. Now, for example, if we are having a hypothesis saying that there is a positive relationship between employee satisfactions and employee performance in company X. This is our hypothesis. فرضية معنا. Now, any hypothesis, always we are accepting it if the significance here less than 0.05. 0.05. If it is less than 0.05, that means there is a relationship between satisfactions and employee performance, and that relationship is significant, statistically significant. If it is more than 0.05, that means it is not statistically significant. There is a relationship, but it is not statistically significant. غير مهمة إحصائيا. So we should make sure when we are measuring the relationship, we should make sure that the significance here is less than 0.05. I precise or insist to bring data where the significance is more than 0.05, because many of the students, I'm sure that they are manipulated or fabricated the data, and the significance 100% it will be not less than 0.05. So I don't want to make a shock for you, not necessary that the significance here is coming less than 0.05. It is okay if you are going to find it more than 0.05, and you can say to bring this table in your report and say there is a positive weak relationship between satisfaction and performance, but the relationship is not statistically significant, as the significant to it is more than 0.05. Clear about correlation?
Yes, but please can you go back to the step before correlation?
Step back means which step?
The one
Transform?
I don't know, the one where we like combine all the like satisfaction
Yes.
together, performance together like this.
Yeah. See, go to transform here up, compute variables. See, the first things, write the target variables, because you are all the three questions, the three items measuring the performance. So we wrote here performance. Then we will go to the function group, click on statistical, then click on mean, then bring it here. And let me remove this so to make it statistical, then click on mean, then come to bring this formula up. Immediately it will come here. Then here we are having two question mark. What this question mark means? That means insert your questions, your items. So we are going to bring the items which is related to the performance. So here we are having performance 1, question number 1. We'll bring it here. Then we will go to the question mark number 2. We will bring questions number 2. Then comma, question number 3, and then click OK. Immediately, the performance variable will combine the mean of the three questions in one variables. Then you can measure the relationship. You got it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, now the relationship test, is it clear to you?
Also, yes.
Then we will move to the impact. The impact, always we are measuring the impact in case we are having, let's say, the impact of satisfactions on employee performance. Now, in relationship, they are not measuring, they are measuring between the two variables. They are saying if employee performance increase, let's say we are saying we found it is positive relationship. So if employee performance increase, that means satisfaction increase. If employee performance decrease, that means satisfaction decrease. So they are not measuring, or they are not telling us what is the impact of satisfaction on employee performance. They are just only telling us the nature of the relationship, طبيعة العلاقة. But we would like to understand the impact of these factors into the other factors. So the first things we are going to do, we are going to apply independent compare means. Compare means, which is one sample t-test or independent sample t-test. We are going to use independent sample t-test. Why we are using independent sample t-test? Because we are having many factors. Many factors. We will use factors number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And most of you having that. You are not having only 2 factors like me. You are having the dependent variables, employee performance, and the independent variable satisfactions. Only 1 factor. But in my case, I have only one independent factor, which is the satisfactions. But in your questionnaire, I'm sure that you are having many independent factors, مستقلة. So we are having employee, the dependent performance, but you are measuring the satisfaction, for example, then you are measuring organization cultures, then, for example, this organization support. So you are having many factors, 3 factors. So if you are having 3 factors and 1 dependent variables, so immediately go to independent sample t-test. If you are having only 1 factors and 1 independent factors and 1 dependent factors, go immediately with 1 sample t-test. So here in our case, we are having 1 sample t-test. So we are having the satisfactions and we are having the second variables performance. Then we are going to click OK. See here, immediately go to the chooser. Now, 1 sample t-test, they are saying that it is statistically significant because it is less than 0.05. 0.05. Here, the value is 0.001. That means it is less than 0.05. So that means there is impact, there is effect. Now, how are we going to say or mention the effect? Here we are going to the second table. Now, here you are going to have 2 tests, Shohen and Hedges. Shohen and Hedges. Now, we are not going to focus on the Hedges. We are going to focus on the Shohen. And this is the number which you are going to report it in your study, which is the effect size, حجم التأثير, effect size. So the satisfactions effect on performance, here the numbers, which is saying 0.5. That means equal to 50%. 50%. So now what this means, if the satisfactions increase, let's say, for example, 1 level, that means half level of the performance will increase. Again, if the satisfactions increase 1 by 1, so that means the performance will increase half, 1 divided by 2, 50%. So it is half, 0.5. The same things with the performance. The effect size is 0.3. If the performance increase, that means the satisfactions will impact the satisfactions by 0.35. Now you have to copy this table and report it again to your report and mention the satisfactions, the standardizers. Again, I'm going to repeat this. I know that's too much information for you in one workshops, but Just only focus with me. Here in satisfactions, we are having 0.5. That means 50%. So for example, if my satisfactions as a person, my satisfactions, I was very satisfied, let's not say moderate satisfactions. I am moderate satisfactions. My performance is moderate, let's say poor. My performance, if my satisfactions more like in the middle, moderate, and my performance is poor, then what you are going to do by increasing my satisfactions 0.5, or sorry, for examples, to be like I am good, I'm satisfied, very good, then my performance will increase from poor to the, let's say, less than moderate, less than moderate. It is not going to increase one level. No, it is just only half level. Similar to that, like for example, if I'm going to give you 1 riyal, your performance, or not your performance, you can utilize that 1 riyal to buy something which 1.5. 1.5. Is it clear? I would like to bring a simple example for you. What is the effect size? The effect size, it is very important to understand it, because many of you, I'm sure that you are to measure the impact of this of these factors to other factors. Is it clear, or you are still confusing about the Schuhan value here? Yes, please.
It's kind of like confusing.
Confusing, yeah? Complicated. Okay,
Yeah.
let me bring simple examples. Now, see here the value 0.5. 0.5, that means equal to 50%. Now, let me say, I will bring another Excel sheet. So 0.5, the effect of satisfaction is 0.5. Now, if I'm going to use different variables, let me use a variables like, for examples, okay, study times, and the marks. So I'm having two things, study times, and for examples, marks. What this effect size saying? Let's say that if I'm studying 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, let me zoom it. Okay. If I am studying 2 hours, that means I will get marks of, for examples, let's say out of 10, for examples, I will get 4. If in the previous study, when I'm studying 2 hours, my marks out of 10, I'm going to get, for examples, 4 out of 10. Sorry, 4. Let us use 4. Oh my God. Yes, 4. Now, what is saying that, for example, the Schuhan say that the effect size of study time on the marks is 0.5. Now, what that means, now, if I'm going to increase the number of study, instead of studying 2 hours, I am going to study 4 hours. If I'm going to study 4 hours in a normal situations, what will be the marks that I'm going to get it? If 2 hours, I'm going to get 4 marks. If I'm studying 4 hours, how many marks I will get?
Increase the marks.
8.
How many? 8. Excellent. So for examples, normally I'm going to say it is 8, but here I'm saying that it is 0.5. That means 50%. So it is not 4, it is only 50% from 4, from the double. So it will be, what is the 50% of 4?
2.
It is 2. So here I'm going to get
متوسط يعني المتوسط.
لا ما متوسط، يعني 50% من المتوقع اللي انا اجيبه تأثير. Now see, if 2 hours study, I'm getting 4. If 4 hours, normally I have to get 8. Am I right? Normally, I have to get 8 because it is divided. But here they are saying it is 50%. So like what is then the increase, the increment numbers or the increment marks? It will be 4. Now I'm not going to get 4. I'm going to get only 50% from the 4. So that means I'm going to get only 2. So 4 plus 2, it will be equal to 6. See, again, I'm going to, I know it is very complicated. Now, if I'm studying 2 hours, let's say I use it in a very simple things. If I'm studying 1 hours, I will get 2 marks. If I'm studying 2 hours, I'm going to get 4 marks. If I'm studying, for example, 3 hours, I'm going to get 6 marks. If I'm studying 4 hours, I'm going to study 8 marks. So this is the things normally. Base it on the data that I'm having. Now, base it on this, that means if I'm going to do like assumptions, if I'm going to study 5, what will be my marks? And
10.
consider the effect size of 0.5.
10.
10.
Why we said 10?
Because it's
Here, see,
5
when
is gonna be the half of
It will
10.
be 6.
12.
12, 6, 10. See, as I told you here, I need you to consider the effect size with 0.5, 50%.
4.
Again?
4.
4? No, not 4. Now,
12?
see, for example.
9. 9.
9. Excellent. 9. Why we said 9? And I'm going to tell you. Here, if we are studying 1 hour, that means 2 marks. If I'm studying 2 hours, how many marks increase it? How many marks increase it?
2.
2.
2. Then, if I'm studying 3 hours, how many marks increase it? How many? How many marks? From 4? 2. Again, 2. If I'm studying here 4 hours, how many marks increase it?
2.
Also 2.
2. Then in study times 5 hours, but I told you consider the effect size. Here it must be increased by 2. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
So what is the 50% of 2?
1.
1. So 8 plus 1 equal to
9.
9. You got it?
Yes.
4 plus 2 equal to 6. 6 plus 2 equal to 8. 8 plus 2 equal to 10. But here when we said that study times, we need to consider the effect size. We said it is 50%. Normally, it must be increased by 2. Normally, it must be increased by 2. But the effect size is, we said, it is 0.5. That means 50% of 2. What is the 50% of 2 is 1. So here the increase or the effect will be 9. So if you are studying 5 hours, that means you are going to get only 9 marks. It is the same process here. The effect size, they are saying it is 0.5. The performance 0.3. We would like to measure the impact of satisfaction on performance. So when the satisfaction increased by 0.501, when the effect size of satisfactions increase by 0.5, the performance will increase by 0.35. Again, when the satisfaction increase by 0.5, the performance, the employee performance will increase by 0.35. You got it?
But from where did we get the 0.5? like in the first place?
Here. This one.
Like, yeah, is it like for all of us or?
No, it will be different because we have conducted the
Yeah.
test here. Here we have conducted the test. One sample effect size, one sample test. We use analyze, compare mean, one sample t-test. I will choose my variables. Here I choose satisfaction and performance. Then I click OK. The result will come to you. Some of you will get 0.5, some of you 0.4, some of you 0.7, some of you 0.9, and so on. You got it? So it totally depends on your respondents, what they are responding. Clear?
Yes.
Any doubts? Can we move to the next one? Yes, please. Can we move?
Yes, it's clear.
Yes.
Now, the last test, which we would like to have it, which is called ANOVA. ANOVA, that means the covariance, the variance between the variables. Now, we are having gender, am I right? We are having gender male and female, and we are having employee performance. Now we would like to see who is happy more. Are they the gender? Sorry, are they, is it male or female satisfy more? Who is performing more, male or female? Who is like much better in relations to the employee performance? Those who are having PhD or those who are having high school or those who are having master degree. We would like to see the difference between them. Now, what we are going to do, the same things. We would go to the compare means. Then we are going to use independent sample t-test. Independent sample t-test. Now, independent sample t-test, we are going to use it because here we are having group. Let's say now we would like, for example, satisfactions. The test variables, satisfaction. So we are going to bring it here. Then here the grouping variables. We are having male and female. So we would like to bring them here. Here you will find question mark. That means we need to define the group. Now, group 1 equal to 1. What is the 1 equal to what? Female. 2 equal to male. Then we are going to click continue. Now, we will go to click OK. Now, this is the summary. Female and male. The mean of female in relations to satisfaction 3. And the males in relation to satisfaction 2.6. Now, who's satisfied more, male or female? From your opinion. Here, the female 3.0 and male 2.6. Who's happy more? Who's satisfied more? Male or female?
Female.
Female. Why? Because the mean is more than male. The mean of female 3. That means they are close to agree. The male 2.6. That means they are dissatisfied. They are not happy with the work. I don't want to use this description because it is going to complicated you. Now, in the statistics, in the t-test, just only get this table and start describing it. Say that the mean of female is this one, the mean of male, this one, which indicate that the female happy or satisfied more than male. Again, the same process. I have, for example, educations. Compare means independent sample. Here the gender, I will return back. I will bring, for examples, the educations, then define a group. So I have group 1 and group 2. This is the problems with the independent sample t-test, which is they use only 2 groups. So here, for examples, 1 we said between high school and group number 2 it is between bachelor degree. So he's going to compare between these two groups only, one for high school and the second one for two group. Then you have to do another test for number between 2 and 3, then from between 3 and 4, and so on. So for examples, between 1 and 2, I'm going to click continue, then OK. Immediately see here, high school and bachelor degree. In the mean score, 2.9, here bachelor, 2.8. That means no difference. Almost they are having the same mean, 2.9 and 2.8. They are having low satisfactions. And then you have to do and repeat this test again with number 3, number 4, and number 5, and so on. Clear?
Yes.
If you don't, yes,
Yeah.
if you don't want to use the independent sample t-test, there is another test which is related to the ANOVA. But I'm afraid that you will be a little confused because it is more complicated than these tests. So it is much better to use the t-test as your level. Use the t-test to compare the mean between these groups, between the demographic and the variables of your study. Don't go with the ANOVA. Do your best to avoid it. In case you would like to use the ANOVA, please consult your supervisors. Now, I have conducted 3 tests. Based on your research objective. If you are measuring the relationships, you have to use the correlate, go to analyze, correlate, and select the person correlations. If you would like to analyze the impact, go to compare means, then select one sample t-test. If you would like to compare or to differentiate between the genders, you can use the independent sample t-test. I hope that this will help you. I'm going to stop here. So if you would like to have more questions, I'm ready to answer you. Please. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Alia. Anyway, what I'm going to do, the workshop already recorded. So the time that you are starting the analysis, you can use or see the recorded workshops and follow the steps. As I told you, follow the steps. Now, one more thing, which might help you to interpret or describe your results. In case you face any problems and you would like to understand, use ChatGPT to interpret the results. Like for examples, just only as an examples, which I would like to support you. Like for examples, this one, this table, the correlations. Now I would like to understand what is this table. I will take this table to ChatGPT. This is, for examples, where is new chat. So help me to interpret below table. I will put the table here. Then I will click OK. So the ChatGPT now will start helping me to understand the table. What is person correlations? This value measures the strength and directions of the linear relationship between two variables. The correlation between satisfaction and itself is 1, which is always the case of variables. He is going to explain or describe each component in that table. So, for example, see now explain it. This is significance. This is the p-value for both values. See here, as I told you, 0.05. Always he is going to tell you. Now, what is the summary? See here, there is a weak and non-significant positive correlation between satisfaction and performance. The same things which I have explained. So he is going to help you to understand what is the meaning of that table, or how can you write or report the result of that table. With ChatGPT, I'm sure, but please do not copy paste. Do not copy paste. Just only use it to help you to understand what is the nature of the table. Thank you very much. If you don't have any questions, we will conclude here and wish you all the best, inshallah.
Doctor, but I've
Yes,
heard
Leslie.
that ChatGPT can be detected while marking. Like,
Yes,
but
this
in case
is
if we like rephrased a part of our understanding, it's fire.
100%. Yes, 100%. If you are going to paraphrase, see, use ChatGPT to understand. Please use ChatGPT to understand. It is like a language models which understand your request and will help you to understand. See, for examples, like if you are going to have, I don't understand, explain it in a very simple language. So for example, I will tell him, I don't understand. Use simple example to make me understand. See, now he's going to bring a simple examples. He's trying to make me understand the concepts. Imagine you have a group of 30 employees at a company and you are looking at two things, how satisfied they are with their job satisfaction and so on. So he is going to use a simple language to make you understand. The time you understand, you got the idea, immediately use your own language to describe or interpret the results. Clear?
Yes.
Any more questions? Okay, if there is no questions, thank you very much and wish you all the best in your dissertations. I think the submissions will be inshallah within 2 weeks. Ramadan Kareem. Ma
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Doctor.
Thank you.